Okay, it's Monday, February 27th. This is a pre-opening SPY report, and this morning we are gapping up here. The pre-market range is between the blue lines, and we're kind of starting near the top of this range, so it's a pretty big gap up. That was kind of anticipated given this reversal-looking bar last week after a 3 bar. It's an actionable signal, 3, 2 down with a 2 down green bar. We're looking for then the actionable signal to the upside, which then projects at least first up to this area right here. And if that kicks in, if we get follow through to the upside, then on the weekly chart, we will see if we continue up. We're starting kind of near the midpoint of this red bar. If we get to that first objective, we're very close to then getting a 2-up bar on the weekly chart. And as discussed, maybe this was the entire down move after this little failure up top here, and we could be starting up again. However, there is a battle here with the longer time frame, the monthly chart, which is kind of start with 1 day to go in the month, well, 2 days, today and tomorrow. Is this going to end up more of a red shooter bar where we don't get the follow through, which would start to project lower? So the whole key here is, as we look at the opening price, the pre-market range, which is even moving higher here, do we broaden out just to take out these highs up here and then fail or even not reach these highs and start immediately lower? And that could kind of be a first sign that we're failing on any move up and that the bigger picture downtrend's going to resume. Or is this a true reversal? You're going to start playing it to the upside. Even with this gap up, you can see here, let's say we start right up here, there's definitely room to have a little bit of red before we turn to green today. Bottom line is, until we really take out the midpoint of yesterday's bar, which is way down here, you have to just be biased to the upside. So the key is going to be, do we really... are we going to get the strong follow through, or are they going to start selling it off pretty quickly and failing? And if we get any kind of failure here, Monday, Tuesday type of thing, that either fails to reach as high or reaches as high and immediately reverses, that could be the exciting sell signals to look for as the week goes on. But for now, you just got to keep that up bias and really just see what kind of a follow-through unfolds, and that could determine, what's happening in terms of on this weekly chart. Again, you have this red bar. Now we're starting near the midpoint of that bar. That means we could have a little bit of up action here to start. But if anything begins to fail on the day, then keep in mind this red bar is expected to go lower, and the monthly chart, if it holds here for 2 days, is expected to follow through lower into March. So we'll just see what happens. I'm trying to think of another type of failure that can unfold. We come up, let's say we come up and maybe even take that area out and quickly reverse, or don't make it there, and then we take out the intraday lows pretty strongly. At that point, you're a little bit in conflict on the daily chart because, you're still above the midpoint of the prior day, but a failure is possible up in this area. And I don't know if you want to aggressively get short on any the intraday lows being taken out, and then see if we get, a big red follow through before the day's over, kind of like a hammer bar into a shooter bar by the end of the day. That's always possible. I'm just trying to think of what else would be. I guess if it starts immediately red, you would kind of want to see if we get red to green to still try a long trade to see if we get up there, since we're above the midpoint of the prior day. But if it goes red and then comes up to only the halfway point of the first move, then you can try a short and kind of assume this is just a rising wedge kind of thing that's eventually going to roll over to the downside. But the immediate red here, I wouldn't sell it right out of the gates. I would want to see if we kind of get lower and then can only retrace to maybe half of that move before selling. So this, I'd be patient in terms of selling. That's kind of my point, even though I'm sort of expecting something to fail on the way up, given the bigger picture charts here of a weekly chart that should head lower and a monthly chart. A lot of stocks, if I look at them on the monthly chart, they're forming shooter bars. It means lower into March. So anyway, that's it. We're just going to have to monitor the upward move. And if you get in a long trade, a buy, let's say we get green and follow through, then just monitor if we could hit these targets or not. That's kind of, and look and see if we, if that becomes a pause or reversal area. That's kind of what you're looking for. So it's just a judgment here in terms of price action. Do we, as it's opening up pretty strongly, do we get a lot of follow through to the upside, or do you sense that it's just not kind of able to do that and they're starting to look to sell? And again, you can be patient on that sell, but know that it's always still a big picture kind of view at the moment if we can't move up strongly. So again, let's see how today unfolds.